I'm rigging up these new reels. We start by spooling up the backing and then we add the fly line. And I've got white and blue, orange, chartreuse, 100 yards, the 4 and 5, 50, 20-pound 4-weight or 5-weight. 4-weight, 100 yards, 50, 5-weight. Chartreuse, the 4 and 5. But the way that I do this is super simple, really. It's spring and everything's blooming and everyone's thoughts are kind of turning to the beginning of trout season. Everybody's got a different kind of opening day ritual. I'm gonna be rigging up some reels today. These reels have never been spun up before, and it's a little bit of a challenge because, you know, I'm not a geometry major. The easiest thing to do is just have the fly shop put the backing on and you'll be squared away. But if you ever need to do it at home, we can take you through that really quick. We're gonna take our reel, we're gonna pull the arbor off. We're gonna start with an arbor knot. So the arbor knot is used to connect our backing to our reel, the arbor of our reel specifically. So we're just gonna cross over and create a overhand knot through which the other end of the backing passes. So here we have our overhand knot. And our other end of our backing is passing through there. We can kind of tighten that down a little bit. But the key to the arbor knot is putting a stopper knot in on the back end of it, so this tag doesn't slide through. So we're going to give this 2 turns through in this stopper knot, make it a little bit fatter than usual. It doesn't really matter that much. We're going to trim off that tag end. And we're going to tighten this down. See how that's holding and tensioning in there? And then we're just going to add some wraps to allow this. And I'm pulling pretty hard right here. Now then what we're able to do is put this on our little turner. Load this up on the reel here. I'm going to load it onto a rod. I'm going to maintain a little bit of tension on this. And I'm laying this line out along the arbor. And this is not a precise science here. What we're going to do now is we're going to tie a loop in the end of this line so we can add a fly line. We're going to tie a triple surgeon's knot. So I've got this backing passed over itself. I got about 10 to 12 inches here. I want to make a nice big loop, so I'm going to make that small loop, and I'm going to just pass this end through it 3 times. That's the triple part of the surgeon's loop, surgeon's knot. There we go, 3 times through. I'm going to cinch it down. See how those wraps sit nice and neatly there. And that's it. That's the knot. We're going to clip off our tag end, and I'll be done with that one. This loop needs to be able to pass over the size of the arbor of the reel. So when we add a fly line to this, we add it on the welded loop of the back of the fly line. With a big loop, we can just take that, and that's on. That's why we always want to, in our backing, we always want to have a big loop. Whatever knot we tie, whether that's a triple surgeon's loop for something as small like a 4-weight or a 5-weight, or whether that's a bimini twist for something bigger.
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Right. Well, if all this is mysterious to you, and all the kind of arcane geometries of fly fishing elude you, don't worry, because a lot of times it really doesn't matter. So from there, we just add our fly line. It's as simple as that. And then pretty soon we'll have all these reels spooled up and ready to go, which is exciting, because we'll be ready to fish again, and we'll be ready to embrace the flood of the new fishing season. How long is a piece of string? Twice as long as half its length. It's such a mess to separate fly lines. by just throwing them on the ground. There's all sorts of room in this sport to be really OCD about how you set things up. But I find if you take care of your knots and you take care of some of the basic stuff, keep your gear clean, then you're going to be okay.